In today's society, college athletes are arguably some of the world's hardest workers. College athletes are expected to live the lives of an average student while maintaining the physical commitments of their sport. Additionally, many obstacles are placed in the way that can prevent them from excelling in both areas. Some examples include the need to miss classes, days with little sleep, and early morning practices. The treacherous schedules of these college athletes promotes the question, do college athletes deserve to be paid for the hard work and all the time they commit to the sport? Many people readily state that college athletes are receiving scholarships and other incentives that make up for all the hard work. However, this is incorrect for many reasons that I will identify later in this speech. Additionally, college athletes are students participating in athletics and deserve to be treated fairly and with respect. Although many people would disagree with paying college athletes because they believe the college athletes are receiving compensation for their hard work, I believe college athletes should receive a salary. I believe this is because athletes deserve just compensation, are used to generate revenue for the National Collegiate Athletic Association, commonly referred to the NCAA, and it would teach them real-life skills. First, I'll explain to you why college athletes deserve just compensation beyond their scholarships. In many Division I colleges, the athletes are expected to spend up to 40 hours a week working strictly on athletics and physical improvement. Additionally, these athletes are required to attend classes, tutoring sessions, and other school activities. These activities are common up to 80 hours of their work and leave little to no time for other activities. This lack of free time can lead to many problems, including the inability to have a part-time job. Without the ability to have a part-time job, the students are unable to pay for simple costs such as gas, food, and off-campus housing. These student athletes are then forced to depend on their scholarships and the services of the colleges to survive. However, the incentives and services provided by the university are in no way similar to the cost benefits of having a job. The average college athlete spends 40 hours a week practicing and participating in games and receives close to $15,000 in scholarships. This averages out to $7.20 per hour for their hard work. While this appears to be somewhat reasonable, you must realize that this money is not given to them and to spend freely, but pays for their education solely. Now, if they were to have a job, they would be paid nearly $10 an hour and have money left over to pay for other things such as transportation and gas. On top of that fact, the college athletes are not receiving just compensation and cash value. They are also not receiving enough time off. For college athletics, there's no such thing as an off-season. Athletes are expected to train, practice, and prepare year-round. That time commitment can have many negative effects on their bodies and family and friends. Without this necessary free time, athletes are unable to make time for others, and this can lead to many mental health problems. Additionally, to mental health, the time commitment that college athletes pay to their sport can also lead to many injuries. These injuries are then left to the students and other family members to repair. This can lead to large financial burdens and for their families especially to pay for. And when students are left without a sport, the scholarships can be revoked in a career with just a career-ending injury. An object like this, which is a knee brace, can cost up to nearly $500, and that can, for athletes without a pay, that can be detrimental. The need to compensate student athletes is clearly seen. However, the colleges and the NCAA's drive to make income off many of the players stops them from paying the college athletes. Next, I will describe the many ways the college and NCAA makes money off the players. Last year alone, the NCAA made $1.1 billion, while large colleges like Duke and Notre Dame accumulated nearly $100 million in athletic revenue. Many people ask how these organizations and universities accumulate the money, and where does the money go? Ultimately, the answer to those questions are largely disappointing. In athletics, the fans and supporters like to purchase souvenirs such as bobbleheads, signed gear, and most of all jerseys. These items are sold on websites and NCAA stores to make a profit for both the NCAA and the colleges they represent. However, one problem with this system is that commonly mentioned, the fact that colleges are making money off the likeness of these players. Bobbleheads, signatures, and jerseys are all commonized to players and prices based off the success of their athletic performance. Thus, as the players become better and more widely known, the colleges increasingly raise the prices for jerseys and signatures. Similar to this, if the items experience success, or if the teams experience success, tickets price increase. This increase in ticket price attracts additional revenue for the colleges and incentivizes the college to build larger athletic facilities and create larger scouting programs. These investments for the programs and facilities help ensure that the success in sports continues, so they can continue to make large amounts of money off athletes. In addition to their faculty and program investments, colleges are notorious for spending millions of dollars on coaching. In 2010, Mike Horowski, the coach for Duke basketball, made over $7 million, not including benefits. The salary appears even more insane when you realize the average National Basketball Association, known as the NBA player, salary is $6 million. Moreover, this coach is the highest paid employee of Duke and gets paid the equivalent of 40 of his colleagues. Personally, I believe it would be only fair to make a small fraction of his pay the salaries of all other college coaches, and to provide it to the players for payment for their likeness or souvenirs. Lastly, many people wouldn't complain about the overpriced game tickets and high coaching salaries if much of the revenue was provided back to the players in forms of improved education or even facilities. However, this is not the case. Nearly all the money made by athletics is recycled into athletics and other forms of unnecessary improvements. Overall, the NCAA and colleges are clearly showing the players and the world that athletics is clearly placed over education. Lastly, I'll explain how the quality of life of student athletes would improve with a salary. Athletes, while attending colleges, are provided with nearly everything they absolutely need. This leads to the problems including not being able to manage money. By providing the players with a salary, they would be able to develop real-life skills in the financial world and place them in a path of success. Additionally, by providing the players with salaries, the saved money would provide the players with a financial safety net. This would be extremely helpful, especially if the plan to become a pro athlete did not work out. Another safety net that salary would provide is incentive to receive a degree. For many of the college athletes, the drive to go pro in their sport pulls them out of the colleges without finishing and receiving a degree. If players were paid a salary while playing in colleges, players would be more likely to stay and finish their degree before leaving for the pros. If they were unable to reach the pros for a variety of reasons, the player would ultimately have a degree to fall back on. A salary for college athletes would also incentivize hard work and show athletes that hard work pays off. As players work harder and become more successful, players would receive a larger salary based off the college's use of their likeness. This would further enhance their competition sport due to everyone working harder to receive a larger salary. Lastly, a salary would allow them to pay for necessities not provided by the college, such as gas to drive home and a cell phone. These amenities would improve their overall experiences at college and provide them with things that students need to have. The ability for college athletes to receive payment would help them not only prepare for the future, but also assure that they have something to fall back on when if they don't reach the pros. College athletes deserve to receive a salary due to the enormous amount of time they spend perfecting their sport while making the colleges they attend richer. Additionally, the salary would allow them to learn and practice real-life skills that would help them be successful in the future, even if their dreams of going pro are not met. Furthermore, the aid that they receive is in no way financially reflects the hard work and time that they spend practicing and conditioning. In the end, colleges deserve to share their success with athletes that they make their programs wealthy and successful. The best way to do this is through a salary. Thank you. No,
Okay, hold on.